What if history itself was a timeline of Bible prophecy? Ever heard of the term historicism before? Well, it is a method of interpreting Bible prophecy linking the symbolic figures in the books of Daniel and Revelation to historical events, persons, or societies. It views the little horn power spoken about in Daniel chapter 7 as the Roman papal institution, as the Antichrist power, and it connects that to the history of the Christian church. In this view are two different kinds of prophecies: the classical prophecy, dealing with immediate events, and apocalyptic are events in the distant future or relating to the second coming. Historicism was the belief held by the majority of the Protestant reformers and of the Antichrist power herself. Prominent leaders and scholars among them, including Martin Luther, John Calvin, Thomas Crane, John Thomas, John Knox, and Cotton Mather, identified the Roman papacy as the Antichrist. Influential early church leaders who expressed historicism views were Jerome, Irenaeus, and Tertullian. Both Irenaeus and Tertullian interpreted the fourth kingdom in Daniel as the Roman Empire, believing in the future it would be broken up into smaller kingdoms, the iron mixed with clay in the feet of the statue seen in the vision. Josephus, the Jewish historian, did as well regarding the fourth kingdom of Daniel 2. Jesuits then countered this interpretation by introducing preterism and futurism. Historicism was a very common prophetic viewpoint up until the more recent centuries post-Reformation. Josephus connected the fourth kingdom of Daniel 2 to the Roman Empire, writing that a future power, a stone not cut by human hands, would overthrow the Romans. Josephus, Antiquities of the Jews, 10-10. William Whiston translation. St. Jerome warned that those substituting false interpretations for the actual meaning of Scripture are of the synagogue of the Antichrist. Instead of the Antichrist rebuilding the Jewish temple to reign, he believed the Antichrist sat in God's temple to the extent he made himself out to be like God. Jerome also dismissed Porphyry's claim that the little horn was an Epiphanes by noting that the little horn is defeated by an eternal, universal ruler right before the final judgment. Little horn is the Antichrist. St. Jerome commentary on Daniel 19:58. Many other reformers held the historicist view. The Waldenses, John Huss, along with Tyndale, taught that the Rome papacy was the Antichrist, and they were killed for it. Tyndale also taught any organization that distorts the Bible are doing the Antichrist's work. The reformers were unanimous in its historicism acceptance, and it was this interpretation of prophecy that lent emphasis to their reformatory action. It led them to protest against Rome with extraordinary strength and undaunted courage. This was the rallying point and the battle cry that made the Reformation unconquerable. Leroy Fromm, 1948, pp. 244-45. In calling the Pope the Antichrist, the early Lutherans stood in a tradition that reached back into the 11th century. Not only dissidents and heretics, but even saints had called the Bishop of Rome the Antichrist when they wished to castigate his abuse of power. Hodgkin, John, ed. Building Unity Ecumenical Dialogues with Roman Catholic, pg 140, section 30. It is hardly surprising, given this general context, that the relatively few English Catholic commentators who turn their hands to the interpretation of these same passages should be concerned to counter this widely held Protestant view. The response came in three basic forms: preterism, futurism, or counterhistorism. The Spanish Jesuit Alcazar was the founder of the preterist school in Investigatio Arcani Sensis Apocalipse 1614. It might be expected that a commentary which thus freed the Romish Church from the assaults of Protestants would be popular among the advocates of the papacy. Alcazar met, of course, with general approbation and reception among the Romish community. Others who supported this historicist view, Charles Wesley and Isaac Newton. This was known as the Protestant interpretation until modern times. 2 Timothy 3:13-14 says, "But evil people and impostors will flourish. They will deceive others and will themselves be deceived. But you must remain faithful to the things you have been taught. You know they are true, for you know you can trust those who taught you." Like and follow for more videos.